So switching over to baseball here, they salvaged yesterday, John, which was huge with what they've been going through. I mean, I personally think, it was more on the pitching this weekend than anything. But if you actually go back and, Auburn's been on a little bit of a roll here. I think 7 of their last 8 games, they've scored at least 7 runs in every game, and 3 or 4 of those have been in double digits. So they're playing well, kind of like they did last year, at the right time of the year. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the other guy. Carolina did not move in the rankings today. They're still at number 2 in the RPI, and you never get through an SEC season without some adversity. But I think the one thing that we can all collectively say together is, oh my God, that ball left the yard. Wasn't that Tippett? No offense to him, but JC, we were sitting together, and John, you correct me if I missed something here, but JC, we were talking about this yesterday. I was like, well, you can't pinch hit for him, because if you do, you don't have anybody to play second. Like, there's really nowhere to go. And they had kind of gotten to this point in the game where they had runners on and nobody on base, and you bunt. Do you bunt here? If you do, who's coming up at the end of the order? What have they done? Nothing. So it's kind of the old school day of, like, you just somebody drive somebody in. And by God, that ball left the yard. And I don't know how it did, but he freaking hammered it, didn't he, John?
He did. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I saw it coming. So, but I will say this. Now, I wrote a little bit about in the fall and into the preseason that the kid has a little bit more juice than you would think. He gets some good exit velocity out of there. He's been swinging and missing a lot, so nobody's seen that, and I get it. He's just been overmatched, and he's faced some really good pitchers when he's had the opportunity to play. He didn't go through the non-conference season playing getting a bunch of reps against Bethune-Cookman or whomever else. He's been thrown to the fire against some really good pitchers, and he just isn't ready in general to be a consistent performer at this level. But he does have some juice. He's not a weak hitter. He's a really good defender. The play he made with the bases loaded in the top of the 7th with 2 outs, that was a much more challenging play than maybe it looked. It was more difficult than it's being given credit for. That was a huge play in that moment. And then he comes back in the bottom half of the inning to hit that home run. So all credit to him. He works really hard. I've been getting into the baseball stadium a little bit early, more often here lately, and there's been a couple of times where he's been out at the field 2 and 3 hours before first pitch, working with Monty out there individually before the rest of the team is out there on the field, just getting extra work in. There was one day he was out there for almost a half an hour, just getting in some extra time with Monty and Monty working on his swing and so forth. And that was before the Florida series started. So yeah, he works hard. He shouldn't be a starter right now. And, when one of these guys get healthy, he'll come out of the lineup for most games. But I do think that he's got a future in the program. I mean, he's really good defensively. I'm not going to rule him out from being the shortstop at some point in his career at South Carolina.